Hello, this is Christoph with Kaiserworks presenting Skystation, a project for APS. In this first image here, we're standing at the corner of Roosevelt and 7th Street. We're looking southwest towards our downtown skyline. Skystation is a new monument for downtown Phoenix and Roosevelt Row. It juxtaposes the unparalleled beauty of the desert sky, expressions of Phoenix's emerging arts and culture district, and a hub for varied modes of urban transportation. It does all of this while providing the equally important function of concealing a large-scale electrical substation in the heart of the city. Despite the fact that substations and other large-scale infrastructure installations are vital to the function of growing, vibrant cities, they often represent an unfortunate aesthetic compromise. At best, they are exercises in generic urban camouflage, and at worst, they can be eyesores. Rarely do such installations contribute meaningfully to a city's sense of place. In Skystation, however, we see a unique opportunity to reimagine a piece of infrastructure as a work of public art, creating an important moment of civic identity at one of the most prominent corners in Phoenix. I'm going to speak briefly to some of the nuts and bolts of what makes Skystation, and I'm going to talk about this in three different levels. One is the sky level, one is the art level, and one is the street level. Regarding the sky level, Skystation uses perforated metal panels to simultaneously reflect the sky behind the observer while partially revealing the sky beyond. The faceted surfaces of its upper level divide the sky into slices of color while creating large shaded areas for pedestrians on the sidewalk and the bus stop level below. Below the shade soffit, convex concrete panels provide a robust level of protection for the electrical substation while simultaneously creating a playful, durable surface over which temporary murals and event announcements can be painted and regularly repainted. These event announcements and murals are essential to the seasonal rhythm of Roosevelt Row, where community celebrations like First Friday, Chili Pepper Festival, Pie Social, Flannel Ball punctuate the annual events calendar. The painted announcements and murals change over time, but collectively they contribute to a sense of dynamicism on Roosevelt Row that has defined the neighborhood since its inception. Between the concrete panels, translucent strips allow for sunlight to filter through the barrier to the sidewalk beyond. In the evening, these lenses are illuminated by an array of programmable LED strips that turn the concrete panels into a kind of video wall. At night, slow-moving abstract representation of the Sonoran sunset plays across the articulated surface of concrete, repositioning the natural beauty of the desert sky within an urban nighttime landscape. As an art installation that comes especially to life in the twilight hours, Skystation will have a particular resonance with Janet Eckelman's nearby civic sculpture, Her Secret is Patience, located in Civic Space Park. At the sidewalk level, Skystation incorporates a bus stop, pedestrian benches, bike racks, and an urban desert garden, all beneath a continuous shade structure. These elements work together to provide pedestrian and mass transit users with a buffer from the busy intersection. At the same time, Skystation orients itself as much towards visitors and vehicular traffic as it does towards pedestrian and neighborhood residents. Having exited the freeway from the East Valley or airport, or having driven south down 7th Street from Midtown, motorists will be greeted by an extraordinary gateway to downtown and Roosevelt Row. Waiting at the light, they will have a moment to absorb information about future upcoming events in the area or simply to appreciate the play of light across Skystation's concrete and metal surfaces. I want to talk briefly about reflectivity as camouflage. We see Phoenix's identity as taking shape as an emergent center of urban arts and culture within a breathtaking desert setting. But how can we reflect that character in a work of public art and at the same time effectively screen and protect a large piece of urban infrastructure? One of the most powerful ways to conceal an unsightly or sensitive object is to make it reflect its surroundings, disappearing into them. But reflectivity also has a second power, which is its ability to draw people in, creating a mesmerizing interplay of color and light that itself becomes a focal point, even as it conceals something behind. Here's another example. This is a building in Germany that does very much the same thing. It's a large piece of urban infrastructure, or in this case, rural infrastructure, that reflects its surroundings in a very beautiful way. And this is an example of using a very cost-effective material to do the same thing. And this last reference image is indicative of the sort of art that we see occupying the art level of Skystation. Phoenix is a city with a strong sense of individual and family identity, but a weaker sense of large scale civic engagement. More recently, however, a shift is underway. Phoenix has begun to fill in, growing towards its center, becoming more dense and connected. In this second phase of growth, the Roosevelt Row Arts District, ASU downtown, alternate modes of transportation, multifamily housing options, and a wave of restaurants and entertainment venues have emerged to give new definition to the city. And yet, even in this new, densified Phoenix, the desert is always present. Almost every day, in the early morning and late afternoon, the sky produces astounding displays of peach, rose, aquamarine, mauve colors for anyone that happens to look up. When the sky is clear, these colors appear pure, smooth gradients. When there are clouds, they appear as punctuated, contrasting compositions. In the middle portion of the day, the sun's intensely bright light causes pedestrians to seek shade wherever the urban environment provides it. And so, even in the densest streets of downtown Phoenix, the desert sky is an essential part of the city's experience. In this view here, we're looking due west, and this is a morning shot. The time is approximately 7:10 in December, and you can see how these satin finish aluminum panels, each of which, by the way, are identical. So there's one panel that's produced and that is wrapped across the facade. The same is true for the base, where you have uniform modular concrete precast elements that are all identical. That together, these two elements comprise the entire facade. In this case, we're showing a beautiful piece by the Fortool brothers, who are local artists to this area, that occupies our art level. I'm going to take us back to our view looking to the southwest. This image, the photograph was taken at approximately 4:30 in December. The sun is low in the sky and is will be setting in approximately an hour from now. And you can see how when it's backlit, the light coming through that perforated panel and through the gaps between those precast elements creates a very beautiful and unexpected play of light. Taken together, these elements of Skystation will create a new urban monument for Roosevelt Row in downtown Phoenix, at what is arguably downtown's most visible intersection. This moment of urban self-awareness will contribute meaningfully to our city's sense of itself, enriching and enlivening its identity with a reinforced spirit of place. By partnering with Kaiserworks and Roosevelt Row community to create Skystation, APS can transform this substation, an essential piece of urban infrastructure, into a work of public art and an essential civic asset. I'm going to close now with a transition from this same scene. We're now looking at an evening shot where the sun has set, we're slightly overcast. The LED lights are on, which are emitting light essentially from the same gaps that allow backlight from the sun to come through in the afternoon. This is something that we see as a constant changing soft play of multicolored LED light. This next image here is a sunrise shot. This is shot at 6:20 a.m. also in December. The sun has is just rising and the night sky is disappearing on the right hand side of the screen, and you can see how the satin reflectivity of those perforated aluminum panels on the right side are reflecting what's going on to the north and the west, and on the east side is reflecting the rising sun. This next image, we're looking north. We're standing on 7th Street, and we're standing at the existing bus stop. We see this as an important move for the bus stop, for bike racks, for urban furniture to be integrated into this public amenity. Here you can see how when the bus stop bench emerges, the canopy above comes out sort of as a hospitable gesture, providing shade for people that are sitting at the bus stop. And I'm going to close on our view looking to the southwest just before sunrise. We hope you've enjoyed this presentation. We look forward to your thoughts on this. Thank you very much.